Hello, it's Sarah Poet, and I'm feeling called to hop on a video and talk about holy daughter codes at this time. It's very exciting. And I also am picking up on some misconception about this in the collective field. And so I want to invite everyone to the Sacred Remembering podcast. I did some episodes about the Holy Daughter and about need and how need is sacred, and all of that is based in innocence, and this all also ties with the earth and the things that I talk about women's resources and new earth coding and the ley lines, etc. So there's a lot of energetic restructuring going on in the earth, way more than I know about. But I'm experiencing, as we do, kind of an inner and outer reflection in my body and in my experience in nature, which I spend quite a bit of time in nature with my dog. So primarily what I want to speak to here is that these holy daughter frequencies are actually coming through the earth and through our bodies. And so it's not a mental thing, it's not a conceptualized thing, although you could decide, in the mind that you wanted to know more about sacred innocence and, the innocence of this holy daughter essence that is like just beyond all of the programming about so many things, all the ways of like suppression and gender suppression and authoritative suppression and all of those things, and I go into more of that in the podcast that I did. So as we are deconstructing that, what we're doing is, I'm calling it like we're making compost, of those things in our feminine systems. And there is so much really rich metaphor around what's happening with new earth frequencies, with earth and soil and the feminine. And so when I talk about Heartland, which is a forthcoming book and an annual offering that I have for women, when I'm talking about that, there's my dog doing her thing. We're talking about bringing these new earth frequencies through in the space beyond patriarchal programming. So in the space beyond, false exchange dynamics and power dynamics and those kinds of things. And we're actually practicing these new frequencies that the earth is giving us in, it like revitalizes the feminine, regenerates the feminine. So the daughter frequencies that I'm picking up on really have to do with those inner earth changes as they also occur in us, bringing us back to this sacred and holy innocence and this like nature of who we are and who the feminine is. And there are frequencies going on inside of like the earth and inside of the soil that are activating a new currency across the earth and across the grid. And what I was shown with Heartland is that this is like really specific to women, because women's resources in the earth grid have been systematically siphoned out of the energy networks in the grid, and now we're restoring that into replenishment. So those of us that are doing that, are also picking up on these holy daughter codes. And then what I was just, seeing again today in meditation, kind of like this tree has a verticality to it, we have a verticality to us. And so as these networks are reconnecting in the soil, and we are connecting to the networks in the soil, and that means that the energetics of the earth grid are changing, and the energetics of the woman body are changing, right? This is what I'll be talking about more and more in Teaching in Heartland, and all those things. Connect with me at sarahpoet.com. And like, as we do that, this is coming up, and this is source frequency, and coming up through our verticality, our central channel. And what also wants to reach us is this energy of the Christos. So we're like resurrecting this enlivened body of the Sophia, the Sophianic template, this holy daughter template, this so I discovered, actually, because I was researching this a little bit on Ascension Glossary, that this is an Aquaelle template, and that's actually the daughters of Christ. And so there's this holy remembrance of the Sophianic body and retemplating of the Sophianic body, and then we're also welcoming in this Christos coding, and I'm seeing that it like merges, the gold frequency in the earth grid, and in the Sophianic body is like met and reunited with the gold frequency, the light frequency of the Christos. And this is so beautiful, because this is unity. This is unity, and we can't really have like a feminine masculine unity without a sovereign and free Sophianic body. Like, otherwise what we think is feminine and masculine is like a perpetuation of extractive templates that took the feminine for granted. And most of polarity teachings about feminine and masculine still are actually referencing that kind of older template and understanding that's like more in the mind. But we actually have to get the Sophianic body actually free and sovereign, and running these resurrected currencies of the sovereign feminine, the holy body of the Sophia. And then like we're opening to receive the Christos. So there's no blocking of the masculine, there's no opposition of the masculine, but that's the way we want to receive. That's the new way that we want to receive. It's kind and safe, and like coming into this fertile soil of the sovereign feminine. And so these, holy daughter is not about making yourself into some sort of feminine that succumbs to an older version of the masculine, and you're what's that other word they use? Submitting. You're not doing that. No, like we're claiming the full sovereignty of the Sophianic feminine form, the Sophianic body, and then it's kind of like the soil prepares, in the springtime to like bring in the sun with the spaciousness in the soil. That's what we're doing. We're like preparing the soil to allow in the sun, and that's the only thing we're gonna allow in. Like, that's it. So yeah, the holy daughter is sovereign. She's born of nature, and goodness, this Aquaelle, soul type that I think I probably am, many of us watching maybe are, is that like we are coming to the planet and like accepting nothing else. Like, we're not accepting this fallen architecture, fallen consciousness of, being falsely resourced, or like having to be in a false power dynamic in order to be resourced, that kind of thing. This is what this time is about, this like sovereignty, and then receiving in whole new ways. So this is my first attempt at a video in a while, so thank you for being with me in my stumbling over sentences. And it's such a powerful possibility, right? Like to incarnate as this holy daughter, this Aquaelle soul type, to become sovereign in the earth body as an innocent Sophianic being, and then open up to receive the high holy masculine. I mean, whew, now we're getting somewhere, right? All right, stay connected. Much love.